Going on, guys? Mike Jaworski, COO, co-founder at CREModels, and today we're going to go over the CRE Suite. This is a product that's been around for us for about 7 years at this point. Um, and there's a lot of different types of companies that use it. There's GPs, LPs, life insurance companies, and REITs. Believe it or not, we'll use this piece of software because it solves a lot of important things. Um, and what I want to try today is kind of have Claude give me an assessment of our software because everyone is using Claude to do a lot of Excel work. And we get people that say to us, well, I just throw it into Claude and it's all fine and it's all good. So I figured it might be useful to say, hey, if everyone thinks Claude's the man, which he is, we will see what happens here. So I'm going to bring up our good old multifamily apartment model. So apartment acquisition model. Battle tested on, I think we do about 8 or 9 thousand units a year on due diligence. So it's been heavily used on a lot of successful acquisitions. So let me get back to Mr. Claude here. Let's use Opus 8. Hey there. I heard CRE Suite is an industry standard underwriting platform, but I have concerns about the construction of the Excel file. Please evaluate and give me your thoughts on usability, consistency of arithmetic in general use in commercial real estate analysis. Correct that little spelling error there. So as he's doing that, I'll kind of go through here. So we have our executive summary, we have our unit mix. Oh, it looks like no, he's not. He's kind of doing his own thing. Occupancy value add. So this is used for whether you're buying core, class B, value add, class C. We do have a LIHTC model. Um, this has all of the goodies that you typically encounter on a multifamily acquisition. And most importantly, because it's in the CRE suite, you have the formulas are accessed through an API. What that means here in this context is you can never permanently modify the formulas. You can never permanently affect either create an error accidentally or on purpose when it comes to a formula and then perpetuate that down the line. The way the system is set up is you have model governance and consistency in the math, which is something that used in conjunction with the LLMs for document processing and abstraction and kind of cleaning messy data. When you pair those things together, you get a really powerful combination. So you can't really use one or the other. You got to use them both together. So having consistent locked math is absolutely critical, obviously, in investment analysis. But by all means, go nuts with the LLMs on getting the information out of your documents and helping to scrub like a T12 and things like that. So it's good stuff, but this is very consistent math. And another nice thing about this is you don't have that black box situation where you don't know how it's working. So, for example, if I go to my monthly cash flows, which is in every model of ours, of course, I can go and look at any formula and get comfortable that it's working, that it's doing what I think it should do. Now, we know it does, but for the user, it's very helpful to be able to take a look at that. And then once you know that it works, have the confidence that because you're accessing it through the CRE suite and the calculation API, you can't create permanent errors in the model. You can't. It's fantastic. And auditors like this too. All right. So let's see here, Mr. Claude. The core monthly annual summary engine is sound and the deal math flows correctly cell to cell. My hesitation isn't the plumbing, it's the macro refresh sensitivity outputs that are currently stale and self-contradictory. That's a great statement, and that's a real easy thing to modify, and that's by design. We click update sensitivity, done. That fixes his concern on number A. Number B, the auditability. Mega formulas plus a VBA dependency mean you're largely trusting the tool rather than verifying it. For live analysis, I'd rerun the tool's calc sensitivity macros, which I just did, before trusting any output grid. Reconcile the two equity figures and zero the $1 mez placeholder. Let's do that. Zero, done. Update, good. Update, good. Cool. So for a model with this much detail in it, that's a pretty incredibly confident nod to us, I would say, by using Claude. Want me to build a small independent check, recompute unlevered letters. My evaluation above stands in full. It's read-only analysis, so nothing in the workbook was changed. The offer is still open. I can drop in a transparent. Yes, drop that in. Let's see what he does. But that's a pretty good endorsement there. So you can reinvent the wheel, certainly, and it can feel good and it can feel fun to do that. But I would certainly um, say that this is a pretty good nod of approval. But like I said, LLMs have their place for sure, and it's revolutionary, especially with document review and cleaning up messy data. But the good old, math written in pen that you can't goof up formulas, there's always a place for that. Okay, good call, zeroing the minutes placeholder. Let me read the full annual cash flow stream so the cross-check references live cells, then build it. All right, let's see what he does. Take my vitamin. Excuse me. And this is actually nice. I'm glad we're doing this with this add-in, the Claude add-in, because for a long time in the CRE Suite, we've thought about how do you communicate to the user, the assumptions are the assumptions. The math, it's either right or it's not, but there's an element of why is this right? Right. So the why is this right is something we've always wanted to add. And I think what Claude allows us to do in conjunction with the CRE Suite is really get people comfortable faster with the product. All right, following the lever negative stream is all right, so he's just basically doing what a human would do is I got this model sent to me. I want to make sure it's right. So the IRR chain is kind of the best check because in some ways it encapsulates all of the math. It doesn't necessarily mean the assumption. I mean, all these assumptions could be total BS, right? But in terms of like validating the math from end to end, what does it say? The check ties tightly. Multiple matches to 0.006x total profit to the dollar. Total profit to the dollar. Levered IRR, 63.7 versus 64.7. Annual versus monthly periodicity. Perfect. Only fix. The unlevered IRR name I referenced doesn't exist. That's fine. I'll point it at the model's headline unlevered IRR instead. All right, so what's he saying here? The IRR deltas, the tool's headline math validates cleanly. IRR deltas are the expected artifact of annual versus monthly compounding. Fantastic. Total profit ties to the dollar, multiple to within rounding. which confirms the levered unlevered cash flow aggregation and the equity contribution logic are internally consistent. So the core deal math is trustworthy. My earlier concern was specifically the stale macro-driven sensitivity grids, which I've already showed you. We just do that on purpose, so it's not always calculating a data table. I'll say, nope, you're good. Thank you, sir. Love it. That's it. All right. Claude says the CRE suite is tight and consistent and accurate. So check us out.